Hey gang, this is Vinny Biscotto with the Biscotto team, and I'm here to talk to you today about the decision of whether you should build or buy an existing home. So a lot of times I get calls from clients and they want to go out and find a piece of land and have a home built on it. And in theory, it sounds like a really easy process. You're going to go out, you're going to find that piece of land, and you're going to have your dream home built on it. And then we start talking about what really has to happen in order to build that home, right? We have to go out and we have to make sure that the land is zoned accordingly, right? And that we will have no problems getting our permits and everything to build. And then we want to make sure what other real estate in that area has sold, right? So if we want to build a $400,000 house or a $500,000 house, is that what we're going to find in those neighborhoods that have recently sold? Because that's how we're going to determine our value is what is the recent data? What have the recent sales been in that neighborhood, right? So if you're building a 4,000 square foot home and it sold for $600,000 last month, that's pretty recent, and you can use that as a good measuring stick, right? So we have to determine where the land is located and is it going to match up with what we want to have built there. Okay. And then once we do that, then we want to go out and find a builder or a contractor that's going to go out and work off of your plans that you have for your home. And sometimes, depending on how big that builder's business is, they might have different choices for you as far as your finishes and your tile, your bathroom, all of the bells and whistles. They'll allow you to choose and go through that. But what happens is the cost of that being done on a smaller level is expensive compared to these big builders that are buying these supplies at such a lower cost that you're not getting the bang for your buck when it's done that way. So you really have to make sure that you go through the process and you're comfortable with what you're getting for your money spent, and that the land itself has good data around it so that as you build and you stay in that home, that it's going to appreciate the way you want it to. Right. So these are all things to consider when it comes time to building a home. And then that's not even getting into financing, but that's just making that good decision on whether that's a great spot for you to build. And then on the other side of it, we have, should we buy an existing home, right? So we buy an existing home and we're going to get some benefits as well, right? So if we buy a pool with a home with a pool, we are going to definitely save money as opposed to building a home and having a brand new pool put in, because it's very hard to recoup that money, especially when there's homes in the market that are giving it a positive adjustment of 30 to 40,000 for the pool, and it costs 140 to build one. So depending on what you want for your house, you're going to have to take that into consideration, that in the pre-existing homes, you're going to be able to get that and probably get it at a better value than having it done and built brand new, just depending on what your project is and what your budget is. But these are the things that have to be taken into consideration when you're deciding whether or not you should build or you should buy an existing home. And there's a lot of different other pieces that fit into that, but I wanted to just keep it real simple between the thoughts that we have to have when it comes to the land, the comps, the data, the real estate that's sold in that area, how it's zoned, what plans we're going to work best on that lot, and then who's going to do the work for us, right? As opposed to what do we want in an existing home, and is that going to be a better value for us when we compare it to the cost to have it done brand new? So I hope this helps. If you're having those thoughts where you'd want to build a home and you're trying to decide what will work best for you, I'd love to help you out with that. You can call me, Vinny, at 817-714-5090, or you can reach us at thebiscottoteam.com. And remember, for all your mortgage needs, talk to Vinny. Have a great day, everybody. Bye-bye.